Now you guys can hear me. Jeez, that was going crazy. Well, this is going to be very annoying for the people watching the replay of this. The first 2 minutes or whatever have no audio. I was talking to both of you, Lizzie and Andrea, I promise. When I tried to schedule this stream, it acted very differently from when I just launch it. And I don't know. I could actually learn how to do it the right way, but we've learned from our girl that's not the way to do things. You just launch into it and then figure it out, hopefully. In her case, you don't, but at least you planned to. So, if you guys could let me know that you can, in fact, hear me, I would appreciate that. Hey, there we go. Okay, good. All right. So, today, we're going to watch her video from yesterday. I also want to watch Beck's last Q&A that she did with questions from Jordy. Kind of a short one today. Let's see. I found a new, at least new to me, compilation channel that I like, and I thought I would share that with you guys. They have way more viewers than me. They don't need the help, but, you know, why not help them, you know? And maybe tell them that you found them through me. Maybe that'll help me. We can all help each other when it comes to making videos, making fun of this obese person. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're doing. Lizzie, I'm happy that your school's closed today. Maybe you live in one of the places where it's snowing. It's not snowing here. It's cold, though. I'm sure it will snow. But this channel's not about me. It's about our girl, and we are going to talk about her. There was another video I had open that I wanted to share with you guys. Oh yeah, I was also going to go over Salty Crab's summary of the last Amberlynn members only video. Because there is some weird stuff from that, and also some weird stuff in that Beck Q&A. So I want to watch that too. So here what we're going to do... Oh right, in Australia it's summer now. Weird. Feels weird to have summertime Christmas, but what can you do? That is how hemispheres work. Because if you ask Amberlynn, the world might be flat, but then she has no way to explain, you know, things like seasons or day and night, really common spherical occurrences. All right, let's see. So if you guys are ready to get started, I am too. Let's make her live here so that you guys can see her. I know how to do that. All right. So let's go ahead and hey, we're actually in February, so we're actually watching videos from the same month now. She's only almost 2 weeks behind. Let's see. Let's go ahead and do it.
Welcome to a new vlog. So it's a new month, February 1st. I hope that you guys have an amazing one. I know some people think of it as like a fresh start. I do. That's the way I view
her weird little kid hair clips.
New weeks, new years, and new months. I woke up to a notification on my phone saying that I've used almost all of my internet data, and I was so confused because I've always had...
It's weird that she has like limited data, right? Because you feel like with all the money she spends on literally everything else and buying a new iPhone every time one comes out, it's pretty strange she wouldn't just have unlimited. She's probably paying more than a person who does have unlimited somehow.
Had unlimited, so I was very confused. I tried to figure out the issue and I couldn't do it on my own, so I have been on
big surprise, couldn't figure out the issue on yourself.
The phone with customer service for like over 2 hours. Long story short, I had to add on an unlimited package because supposedly I've never had that before. So now my internet has doubled in price, but you know what? It's worth it. I need a good internet.
Oh boy, kindergarten in 2010, making me physically ill to read that.
And a fast internet for my job. All right, you guys, so we have a little haul here. I'm gonna start off with the package that I have.
Oh, I didn't want to gloss over the fact that she needs internet for her job because she works so hard at her job here.
I have literally no idea what it is, where it's from. It's in a completely different language. Oh my God.
My guess is something to do with the merch or Emily or something, because this is fake over dramatization.
I wake up in a positive, uplifting mood, trying to ignore all the triggers that remind me that my heart is broken. And then I receive the Hecticana journal.
Oh no, how will you ever recover?
That was shipped out to me before we broke up. Fuck. Oh my
Okay.
God, and it's such good quality. Jeez. Literally matches my outfit. You'd think that this was planned. I promise you this was not planned. But this is the Hecticana journal. I was gonna make multiple journals, different colors, versions.
Yeah, never mind that thing was already open. Definitely enough for her to see inside and know what it is. And also the fact that it's flat, and also the fact that it's from the company who's made all of this merch. What a surprise.
Would be suitable for anybody. But the merch is no longer a thing because it was something that me and Tommy were doing together. I don't know, maybe in the future when I feel less like death, then maybe merch will come back, because a lot of people liked it. A lot of people wanted it. I'm not gonna lie. Even I did. And I had so many ideas. So did Tommy. Putting our minds together was making a lot of creative things. Oh God, moving on. Next
Maybe both your minds together was almost like 5/16 of a mind.
is this box here. So first things first is I got a stapler because I've
Wow.
been junk journaling and the pages are already falling out, and I'm just like, what? This journal like wasn't cheap. I mean, by no means it wasn't expensive. In my brain,
By no means. Also, how are you going to staple pages back in?
the only way that I figured I could fix it was getting some staples and getting an adorable pink stapler. Like, how cute is that? I have not used a stapler in years. And then the last thing that was in this box is some hand soap. So I just got 3 of these Method hand soaps, and I guess they put this sticker over it so it wouldn't
The same soap that they sell at Target, a place that you're at pretty frequently. You had to have that shipped to you.
leak or break. It's the Sweetwater Method hand soap. Yep, smells clean. Next is this box. So it is another perfume by that brand that I've been getting lately. This one's called Rum Tropi,
Yet another perfume. Why not? Sure.
and they have so many different ones, like it's crazy. Ooh, that's like a musky fruity. Okay.
I bet you're very familiar with musk smells.
And then last but not least, we have another package, but this one did not come in a box. It literally just came
That's a box, dum-dum.
just like this. Can you imagine if it was something naughty? So, anyone have any idea what it is, even though you just saw the box? So hook that doodad in there.
Why did you buy a landline phone? There's no chance you have a landline.
This doodad right here. Ring, ring, ring. Hello?
Yes, hello, my next internet girlfriend who I can move in with so you can keep me alive and fed?
Yes, this is Amberlyn Reed. Isn't that so cute? It's literally a lip phone. Like, I can't. Am I gonna use it as a phone? No, but
Okay.
it's gonna be such a cute
There we go, so it's just more trash.
decor. All right, you guys, it is officially time for me to clean this bookshelf. I'm gonna take everything off. I'm going to dust it. I'm going to go through
Still covering her mom in that picture with her phone purse.
all of this, get rid of some of it, and we're gonna completely reorganize this. So here is a before. All right, so we have a little time lapse action. I haven't done
Top shelf completely empty because she can't reach it.
a time lapse in so long. I forgot how much I enjoy them. I think they're fun to watch. So while I was doing this, I was just listening to some YouTube in my little AirPod.
Yeah, Genevieve, we're gonna watch that, just so you know.
And this took me only like a good 15 minutes to clear it all off. So didn't take long at all. All right, so I took everything off. Now I'm about to use some Lysol wipes. And I'm just going to wipe all this down.
Oh wait, I forgot to speed up my playback, so we're not watching her in real time. My bad. Hold on a minute. That fast speed would have been even faster. Let's see. There you go.
Alright, so since I'm short, we're gonna use a broom.
Yeah, that's
Here.
definitely not working.
That is a lot of music. I'm also gonna use the broom up here, which I can
Just rubbing the plastic part of the spoon against the shelf.
barely reach. Short girl problems. Stuff here, all on my couch, my table.
You could get like a step stool or a step ladder if you weren't 500 pounds.
My island. Oh my god, it's a mess. It's giving me anxiety. So for dramatic effect, I want to show you guys how it looks now, and then I'm about to show you how it looked before, and then I'm going to show you how it
Andrea, she is special needs.
looks after. So here you go. So here is a before and here is after. Oh my god, it looks so much better, less cluttered. Now it makes more sense. I like how I put the books in like different spots instead of all just like in one row. This cleared off, yay. I still have tons of stuff on my couch now. It's majority perfume, so I'm about to show you guys the new spot
It's
that I'm gonna have
majority?
it. Okay, so we're in my closet and I have this shelf that I now have cleared off, so I'm gonna put all my perfume here. Okay, so I just got done washing my perfume stands, so now I'm just drying them. So I do have 2 of these. I almost wish I had 3, but 2 works just as good. Okay, so I'm just carrying all my perfume.
I mean, it quite literally does not work as good as 3. It's 1 less.
From the living room, and I'm just gonna set it here. Well, look at that. I put it all in a container so it was easier to lug. Okay, so now I'm just gonna organize it all, see what I come up with.
This is how she spends her days, you guys. Like, really. This is, when the camera's not on, it's this sort of thing that she's just doing all day, just until the next time she eats.
All right, I did it, folks. All right, so this is all the perfume that I have. So my recommendations is Bright Crystal by Versace, but unfortunately I ran out of it. The Floral Marshmallow, because I get the most compliments wearing this one. If you guys are looking for some summery vibes, I would say this Clementine one.
That's so many. It's so... Also, gotta love getting fragrance advice from Amberlynn.
And this one by Kim Kardashian, which I don't think she even makes anymore. And the bottle is phenomenal. Okay, guys, so I did order dinner, and I wanted to show you what I got. I did order from the Cheesecake Factory.
What? I can't believe it.
And I got something I've never had before. It kind of, from the description, reminded me of like a poke bowl. So there's like crispy teriyaki chicken is the way they described it. Rice, avocado, kimchi, cucumber. So let's do a taste test. There's also pickled onions.
Man, I mean, I'm not a Cheesecake Factory hater, but that is a lot. Like, especially, I don't know. That feels like a lot for one to-go order.
Yes, chicken first.
And I'm not claiming she bought like 2 and then put them together. I think she ordered 1. That just seems like a healthy portion.
Now we're gonna do a bite with all the goodness. What the heck? Kimchi, avocado. I see some mushrooms, some edamame. Chef's kiss. I'm literally shook. I give that like a 9.5 out of 10.
Shaken.
So I am currently trying my very hardest to just like stay preoccupied, distract myself, because I just
Yeah, because you have nothing to fill your time.
feel like this big feeling in my chest of like,
Big.
if I do not stop, like go, then I am going to cry. And once I start crying, I don't think I'm gonna stop. It's like
Yeah, you know Amberlynn. Can't stand to be sedentary.
looming in the back of my head, in the back of my mind, in the back of my heart, and it's annoying, not gonna lie. I was actually supposed to go out with my mom today, and I was gonna take her on like a birthday spree because her birthday's coming up on February 7th, but she didn't feel good, so she stayed home. So I'm hoping we get to do it some other time. So that's why I've been like distracting myself and just like finding random things to do. And I just posted a TikTok. It's like in the TikTok, I seem fine. I seem bubbly and like I'm in the greatest mood of my life, but like behind the scenes, I do not feel the greatest. Like I am just a walking broken heart. Like that's what it feels
Barely walking.
like. I'm trying my very hardest not to talk about it and just do like a lot of journaling.
She's just that painting of the crying clown, you guys. That's our Amberlynn.
Okay guys, so I'm just getting ready to like close the shop for the night. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to give you guys an update because I just got an email. As you guys know, Sundays are my semaglutide shot day. Tomorrow's Sunday, and I ain't got my semaglutide. I said in my last vlog that it hasn't even been shipped yet. Well, guess what? My fingers were crossed on my last vlog, and I said, please ship on Saturday, and it did. It is gonna be here days late, but I think that's okay because I messaged the provider and I said, y'all, I'm getting it late. I don't know what happened. And they were just like, I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. And I was like, it's fine, but am I still allowed to like increase my dose? Because I'm supposed to be like doubling my dose. And
Well, considering it doesn't work and will continue to not work, sure, take as much as you want.
my provider said it's fine. So I should be getting it on Tuesday. Your girl's doubling her dose on Tuesday. I'm not looking forward to it because not being nauseous has been wonderful. I'm telling you, I haven't been nauseous for like almost a week and it's just been great. I don't know. We'll see how increasing my dose goes. I am a little nervous. I am not gonna lie. I have the anxiety about it, but I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna let myself down.
I really did not believe that she ordered it. I'm still dubious. Don't worry, it might get lost in the mail or whatever. Or she might be too scared to take it since now there's been a lapse in her cycles of taking it, you guys. It's not safe.
Regardless if I'm on semaglutide or not, like your girl needs to lose weight and she's on the journey to do so. Like I lost 16 pounds in January and I am very proud of that accomplishment. 16 pounds in a month is really, really good.
That's half a pound a day, you psychopath. That's nothing.
So anyways, I'm about to throw my hair up in a bun, take Twinkie out, get comfy, cuddle in bed, and hopefully get a good night's sleep because your girl has not been sleeping lately. I've just been really anxious, really lonely, really sad, and all of those things make it to where like I literally cannot fall asleep. But I'm trying my very hardest to be as positive as possible. Like as many times as I cry behind the scenes, I promise you guys do not want to see that. And I know you don't because yeah, I cry on here sometimes and I talk about how my heart hurts. Like in the past, every time I've cried over a breakup, like people were like,
Well, your heart is under a lot of stress.
calling me dramatic and saying like, why doesn't she shut up about it? So it's like now that I'm like being more low key about it online and more so like handling that off of camera, people are like, oh, she's not sad enough. It's like, I'm not a robot. I am not fit to be designed for your liking. I am just doing the best I can over here. But anyways, I'm gonna end this vlog. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.
Gross.
Hello, hello. Welcome.
Whoa, alright, I stopped you. Enough of you. You know, I watched the ankles video of this from yesterday, and he said gross at the end of her video, so I think he's copying me, you guys. That's not true, I'm kidding. But he did say it, and it did make me think, wait a minute, that's how I always enter videos. So next, I want to take a look at, let's do the Salty Crab summary of Amber Lynn's last members only stream. Girl Hamber was watching the live stream live and was just sending me notes while it was happening because I don't want to watch it. I don't care. And so not all of this was a surprise to me, but it is funny to see just how little is going on in those live streams. Like truly nothing. When I made my community post, if you saw it, about Amber having COVID, that's how I found out, is because Girl Hamber was watching the live stream and told me. Oh yeah, thanks, Andrea. Yeah, guys, like the video. It does help people see it and bring more people in. Every time I've done a live stream, I have gained a few subscribers. Not many, obviously, but I mean, I think it does work. It also, turns out, is a shortcut to get my watch time way up to have people watch the live stream. So on the off chance I ever do have enough subscribers to get monetized, or monetarized, as King Cobra JFS would say, I will be able to do that. And maybe just make fun of a morbidly obese woman for a living. That'd be pretty cool. My parents would be so proud. So now we're going to watch Salty Crabs, which I'm sure you've all already seen, or at least are subscribed to, because she's definitely one of the top channels in the field. But we're going to take a look at her video summarizing Amber Lynn's last members only live stream. And reacting to a reactor is kind of ridiculous, but it's the only way I can talk about her live stream. Oh, I left it sped up, so we'll see if she sounds weird. If it's fine, I'll just leave it sped up.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Happy Wednesday. Today I have another members only stream summary for you guys. This was Amber Lynn's third members only stream, and it actually...
Oh, Lizzie, yes. Actually, Girl Hamber was blocked, so she couldn't see the chat.
ended up being...
But I also think Hamber, as a channel, has been blocked by Amber Lynn since we started that channel in, like, 2016. back when Lizzie was like 6 years old, for anybody keeping score.
3 separate streams. Her internet, I guess, was going in and out. I'm not really sure what was happening. I don't think she knew what was happening, but we're going to cover all of the 3 streams. And if you haven't heard already, there was some shocking news that she told us about in the stream. So let's just get started. Ready? Let's go. Okay, so just a few disclaimers before we get started. The pictures that you will see on the screen correspond to whatever information I'm telling you. So it's not perfect, but I tried to take a screenshot with every note that I took. So they kind of go together. Also, pretty much everything that I'm about to say is direct quotes from Amberlynn. She has accused.
Yeah.
If
No
I
disrespect.
say she said something, you can almost guarantee that is exactly what she said. Okay, so the stream starts out and she is looking and sounding not like herself. All of a sudden, she recognizes someone in chat named Brandon, and it seems like she knows them in real life. It turns out that Brandon is a guy that she met in 2nd grade who she had a crush on all through school, even up until high school. She says they even
But she's never liked guys, you guys.
dated for a short time, but it was just too awkward, so they decided to just be friends. She says something about how when she was taken from her parents, she came back to visit, and that's when she noticed that her 2 best friends, Brandon and Brianna, were dating, and it broke her heart. I don't know, this isn't really important news, but I just thought I'd fill you guys in. And she makes it very clear Brandon
I've never been convinced that Amberlynn would not go for a guy who was into her, and, I mean, Destiny and Beck both look like 14-year-old boys anyway at the time. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't believe it. I don't believe that she wouldn't go for a dude that did everything for her, just like her other girlfriends do. And it's not like it matters. It's just interesting that I think she would go for whoever she thought she could take total control of.
is not the movie theater guy. She says she never did anything like that with him. We can tell that she is definitely sick. She keeps coughing throughout the whole stream, and that's why she appears so different than normal. So since someone brought up the movie theater guy, she starts talking about him. She says she was 17. He was in his 20s, apparently. Then we go back to Brandon. She says
Just kind of gloss over that, but okay.
that she and Brandon are the same age. She has looked at his social media and said how good he looks. Now, mind you, this person was using their full government name as their screen name. And here goes Amberlynn giving all these tidbits about them. So anyone in that chat would have seen his name. They would know his age. They would know that he has social media. He's attractive. Because apparently Amberlynn doesn't have the forethought to realize maybe I shouldn't out this person as someone that I know in real life and then proceed to basically tell us all exactly how to find them. But I digress. So someone asks her about her cameos. She says that it's very random what she gets asked to do. She does a lot of birthdays, a lot of congratulations, and a lot of pep talks, which, yikes. People keep asking if she's drunk or high, what's going on. She doesn't seem like
Oh, thanks, Pamela. I appreciate that.
herself, and she says she's literally sober. Even Brandon says something about how she asked her if she's been drinking. Then it comes out that she is still vaping. She vapes, she says, usually once every 2 weeks, and it's usually right before she goes to bingo. She says
Yeah, this Brandon guy did not think through going to her channel using his full name and having her mention that they lived in the same place and saying that he has social media, because now guaranteed he's been cataloged in Kiwi Farms. Like, I'm positive of it. That guy did not know what he was getting into. Although he may not have like been aware of the Goral world such as it is. So I mean, maybe it's not entirely on him. Emily it is. She knew what she was getting into.
that she never quit vaping and that she does it because sometimes she just needs to take the edge off. A lot of people in the chat are asking her if she's sick. She just ignores all of those comments. And then the live stream ends. Apparently something went wonky with her internet, so she fires up a new one. And when we come back, she's being asked about doing a podcast. And she says she thought about doing a podcast with her mom, but after her latest vlog, she says, quote, "People don't get it. People don't get the vibe that me and my mom put down." She says that she has not watched Jordy in all of
People don't get the vibe of abuse that me and my mom put down.
2025 so far. Then she goes back and says, well, maybe I did at the beginning of January, but it's been a good month since she's watched him. And she feels so much better because, quote, he makes her mental health horrific, unquote.
I want to focus on what Lizzie there said. That is Amber trying to fit in with the kids vaping. Yes, that is exactly what is happening. Like, I know you're making a joke, but yes, that's what she's doing.
And says, quote, "It feels good not to have that type of energy in my life anymore," unquote. To which I say, good. He doesn't want you in his live streams, and it's clearly not good for you to constantly hear about what people have to say about you. So everyone's better off if you avoid his streams. She says that she took Twinkie to the vet 5 days ago. She doesn't say why, though. She keeps coughing. She sounds awful. Everyone keeps asking, are you high? Are you sick? Were you crying? Because we can all tell she seems different. She doesn't look good. Also, her new thing is to say, "Dear Heavenly Father," every 2 seconds. One time she even says, "Dear Heavenly Father, grace me upon your presence." But don't forget, guys, she's a
Which means that whatever new girl she's talking to, that's something that she says. Of course, because that's how that works.
agnostic. She then catches a glimpse of herself in the camera, and she even admits, yeah, I do look really high or drunk. And right here, I'm just going to come out and say it. I think that she's talking to someone new. Not only is she looking and acting different, her mannerisms are different. The way she's talking is different. I'm going to play a clip for you guys, just the audio, and you can hear kind of how she's speaking. It does not sound like her at all. She's also being very animated in her gestures. Just listen to this clip.
I think it would genuinely just make me feel better if you just like diagnosed me and just went straight for it. Like, bro, you're a narcissist. But like I've talked to 2. And I'm going to talk to my new one about it too.
Yeah, she's definitely using a new voice and saying bro. That's also not something she's done before, but it's something a younger person who she's definitely talking to would be doing. How weird.
I'm not gonna lie. And they're just like, bro, no. They don't say bro. But
Okay, so then shortly after that, this live stream ends. It was a short one, only 8 minutes, and she fires up a new one. So then she starts talking about the story that she wrote named Scotty. I think Mr. Snowflake is reading that story on his channel. She says that she wrote it when she was 17 years old, but she put it on Wattpad in 2017 because she had a long-distance friend who wanted to read it. She ends up saying that friend was Crystal. And also she wanted other people to be able to read it. And she has a whole long story about why she used certain names. I didn't really follow it too well. And again, just want to reiterate, she's acting very different than usual. She's doing lots of clapping and clasping her hands together, lots of
Something her new girlfriend is probably doing and that she's picked up on.
overly exaggerated gestures, and to me it just screams someone new is in her life. Could be wrong, but that's my very first thought when I saw the way that she was acting. It was very different than normal. But going back to the Scotty story, she says that she will never rewrite or add to it because she wrote it when she was 17 and now she's 34. I don't know what that means, but that was a reason behind it. So someone was saying kind of mean comments in her chat, and
Rip homeboy Scotty.
people were saying, Amber, please block them. And then she says, comments like that are too hectic on it to get upset at. So I'm just not going to block them. But later on in the stream, she does end up blocking people. So it's very weird the way she moderates the chat. Some people, if you troll a little bit, she will get rid of you. If you say mean things, she says it's too mean and she'll let you stay. So very odd. Someone then asks if she has COVID, to which Amber laughs and then the stream freezes. And when she comes back, she moves on to the next question, which was very suspicious. So then the COVID gets asked about again. And again, Amber just kind of giggles, but doesn't really answer if she has it or not. But then she takes a deep sigh and says, quote, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want my whole stream to be about it, but yes, I do have COVID, unquote. She says that she tested positive yesterday, which since we are going over this the day after, it would have been the day before that she tested positive. So Monday she tested positive. She starts to get teary-eyed and she says this is why she didn't want to talk about it. She says she's scared.
I'm not sure I believe that she tested herself for COVID. I mean, there's no way she could follow the instructions that come in a COVID test kit.
At first, she thought it was allergies, and then she thought it was cellulitis, and then she thought it was the flu. She says this is the first time she's ever had COVID. She said she's had
Well, you're definitely gonna get cellulitis from your cabinet cut on your arm.
every symptom of a cold and every symptom of the flu, and every day it's been new symptoms. And that day, yesterday, she woke up and had trouble breathing and her chest was hurting. She says her grandpa passed away from COVID and it gives her so much anxiety that she had a, quote, whole freak out on Monday when she found out that she had it. And she said that yesterday was her day 3 of COVID. Her symptoms started the day after she went to the vet. Day 1, her symptoms were sore throat and headache, fatigue, no appetite. Day 2, she said she had a fever, chills,
Yeah, I'm sure she had no appetite. That happened.
cold symptoms, flu symptoms. And day 3, which was yesterday, she woke up with chest pain, coughing, and sneezing. She says that as soon as she took the test and saw it was positive, she was shocked and immediately had a panic attack. She thought that she was someone who would never get COVID and was immune to it. Someone suggests maybe go to
Why would you think that?
the ER since she's having a hard time breathing. And she says, quote, it's just like normal, I'm sick type of breathing, unquote, whatever that means. And she also says, quote, I have a pulse ox, so I think we're good. Someone in the chat's talking about their experience having COVID and how they had to be in a coma and on a ventilator and lost the ability to walk for a while. And Amber says, quote, see, this is one of the reasons. And then she just kind of trails off. I think she realized that this person was sharing their experience with her and Amberlynn was making it about herself. She says that she has lost her smell, her sense of smell and taste.
She definitely hasn't lost her smell.
She says she's freaked out hearing everyone else's experiences because she's, quote, low-key a hypochondriac. She says because of that, let's not talk about this anymore. So they kind of start to talk about travel, horror
A hypochondriac who had no problem getting over 500 pounds.
movies. Everyone is moving on, talking about other topics. And then Amberlynn goes right back to the
So afraid of getting sick that you actively kill yourself.
COVID thing and says, since she has COVID, if she ended the stream early, would you guys be mad about that? So after asking if people would be mad
Threatening ending the stream that she does once a week for people who are paying for it.
about it, half the people in her chat are saying no, and then half are saying yes, which Amberlynn was like shocked by. I think she thought everybody would be like, no, end it now, go to bed. But people were like, yeah, we'd be mad, we paid for this. And some of the people in chat were like, they were saying, hey, I still had to go to work when I had COVID. And Amber says, well, it says online you're supposed to quarantine for 10 days, which I don't know what that has to do with anything, but that was kind of her way of being like, just because you guys went to work doesn't mean I have to, I guess. So then she goes and gets her pulse ox and admits she's never even used it before. It kind of feels like she got it just for this purpose so that she could show the people on stream that she has one. And she does
She definitely ordered that pulse monitor off Amazon just so that she could constantly take it, to feeding into her like weird hypochondria.
the check or whatever, and she says, quote, we're good. My breathing is 98. My beats per minute is 72. She's laughing. She's being silly. She's kind of making a joke about everything. She says that yesterday her temperature got up to 102, and she has now made 2 comments about how tired she is, clearly trying to get the people in chat to tell her to end the stream because she keeps talking about how she needs to be resting, and someone in the chat says, this is resting. And Amber says, yeah, but I feel like I should be sleeping. So people in the chat seem to be getting bored. Some are begging her to do something, like maybe do a Lego set. She says she can't do that because she doesn't have the right setup for it. So then she says, well, let's just do a Q&A. But she won't answer certain questions because she, quote, decided she will no longer talk about her love life. And that's that, unquote. So that, again, tells me
She does these once a week. She has 6 days to think of anything to do for this one time a week. This one time of 2 hours. And you know she ended this stream like the second it had been 2 hours, so that she could say that she did it.
she's definitely talking to someone. Why now, all of a sudden, would she be like, nope, that's it. I'm not going to say anything about my love life if nothing had changed? Why now? Why make that the rule now?
Yeah, there's definitely some new caretaker in the wings. And probably in the chat of this stream. Or off camera on her other phone on FaceTime, which is the other thing she does when she does live streams.
So I wrote in big letters, definitely talking to someone. So then the Q&A starts. Most of the questions are boring, but a few of the interesting ones were she revealed that she drinks no water. Someone said, how much water do you drink a day? She said, literally none.
Yeah, no kidding.
She said that she has been to 4 anime conventions, and
Someone who has had gallstones in the past still just drinks no water.
she also revealed that she's thinking about still going ahead and doing the merch line. She, again, keeps repeating how awful she feels and how she should be in bed resting. She says that she has no plans for Valentine's Day because she can't go anywhere because she has to quarantine for 10 days. And she also wants to make it very clear she doesn't want to talk about heartbreak or relationship stuff, but
I'm not sure that quarantining for 10 days is still a rule.
points out she and Emily are not together. Again, make of that what you will. So people start calling her out about her continually saying that she has to quarantine for 10 days. Some people were like, that was the rules back in like 2021.
Okay, there we go. Great minds, huh?
Things have changed. So she goes and Googles it, I believe, to put it in people's faces like, no, see, I'm right. But then she realizes she's actually wrong and it has changed to 5 days. And she says, quote, they literally just changed it. Which I don't know if they did or not, but she was very insistent on the fact that they just changed it. And it had to have been very recently. But then immediately after admitting that people were right and you don't have to quarantine for 10 days, it's only 5, she then says that it sucks she has to quarantine because she had plans coming up. Even though, like I said, she just read that since this is day 3, she only has to quarantine for 2 more days. So she had it staring in her face what how many days she had to quarantine, but still insisted on believing that it was 10. I don't know. It was very weird. So then the topic moves to BPD. We spent a very long time talking about BPD. Someone asked her what BPD symptoms that she had, and she got out her journal entry, which was her phone.
She's just going to say all of them.
And apparently she had written a list of all the symptoms, but she only wanted to share the ones that she felt comfortable sharing. And that was extreme emotions that end up in tantrums and meltdowns, hysterical crying episodes, getting obsessed with one person, not being able to regulate emotions, a strong fear of abandonment. And she gave an example on this. She said, and this was her example, she said, for instance, she would text someone and say, "I love you so much, baby." And maybe they might respond and say, "Love you." And it would completely trigger her. And she'd start thinking, do they hate me? Did I do something wrong? Are
Probably.
they leaving me? Are they cheating on me? And so then she went back to the list. She said she has extreme and intense unstable relationships. She has black and white thinking, a constant need for validation. She's impulsive, like when it comes to eating and shopping. And she said that she acts in desperate measures. She didn't want to break that down and tell us exactly what she meant by that, because she said it was very embarrassing to her.
This 1000% sounds like if I Googled BPD symptoms and it did like the AI generated bullet list of symptoms and then she just read them. Like I'm very confident this is all she did.
She admits that her BPD gets worse when she's in a relationship. She says the difference between when she's in a relationship versus
Yeah, TM, that's right. She loves to like brag about having things wrong with her. It's very weird.
when she's single is like night and day. And then she starts crying because someone in the chat says that her BPD emotions are still valid, even though 2 minutes earlier she had said when she's raging at someone because of BPD, she knows it's wrong to act that way. But because someone tells her that it's valid to feel that way, she starts crying. And she says that she doesn't feel validated because people never made her feel valid. Interpret that how you want.
Okay.
She didn't really go into detail. Okay, so then the ankle gets a shout out. Someone says, quote, "It's offensive to downplay mental health because maybe you don't agree with or like a person. Everyone's experiences are valid." And Amberlynn says, quote, "You should tell that to the ankle. That's Reaction Channel. That is the most awful person in the world. Literally awful." So
I'm coming for that title, ankle.
shout out the ankle. Great channel. Love him. I feel like he would probably consider that a compliment coming from Amberlynn. Okay, so then someone in chat says that being loved by someone with BPD is so beautiful because borderlines love so deeply. Yeah. And Amber starts crying again at that. And she says, if she loves you, just know she loves you so hard. And she doesn't mean to be suffocating. She's beyond loyal, and you're going to be
It
her
would be very easy for her to literally suffocate you.
number one priority. So get in line, ladies, if that sounds like something you're interested in. Someone asks about channel members. She says that she now has 290 members. Then she says she
Almost $3,000 a month for doing nothing.
she's gonna be getting all new cookware, knives, and cooking utensils because her food anxiety has been telling her that all of the things she has now are contaminated and full of bacteria. She starts talking
Sure.
about how her mom is very sentimental. She likes to have Amberlynn's things that she's gotten rid of just because it belonged to Amberlynn. And she says that Amber says that a few years before moving to Oklahoma,
No, your mom likes to get the things you're getting rid of because she needs things. And so she gets them from you because you get rid of them when nothing is wrong with them because you just want to buy new stuff. That's why she wants your old stuff. Because number one, it's not old. It's definitely not old to her, and she needs it. And also, you don't help her otherwise.
Amber had sent her mom a bunch of Christmas gifts, but she was worried that she wouldn't like them, so she also sent her a $200 Visa card so that if she didn't like the gifts, she could go buy something else. And she said that her mom still has not used that gift card because she cherishes it so much because Amber got it for her that she doesn't want to use it, which I think is very sweet. Kind of crazy. Because it's just a card, maybe use like 199 of it and keep the card for the last $1, or just spend it and ask them if you can have the card. But I think the idea behind it is very sweet. She then starts talking about her picking disorder. She says that if we saw certain parts of her body, our jaws would be on the floor because her skin picking
I know mine would be if I saw certain parts of her body.
is so bad. And she's actually surprised it hasn't landed her in the hospital. Then she sees someone in the chat who she doesn't like. She puts them in timeout and giggles about it. The topic then goes back to COVID. She says that she thinks she got it from her stepdad because he was sick and he thought he had the flu or a cold, and then he started feeling better. And that's when he went to bingo with Amber. He also never tested positive for COVID. She's just assuming it was him, even though we know she went to at least bingo and the vet in the time before she started feeling sick. And I doubt she wore a mask. But yeah, she says probably it was her stepdad. We take an intermission when she comes.
He's not Her stepdad.
Fact, she's eating Pringles even though she can't smell or taste anything. And a few people ask her, like, why do you have chips? You're on a diet. And she
Amber's still trying to get that Pringles sponsorship.
tells them to, quote, mind their biz. She says she's freaking out because if she wakes up the next day and feels worse, she doesn't know what she's going to do because the weather there was bad and she feels like she's going to be trapped and won't be able to go to the hospital. So I guess that triggered her to take her pulse ox again and her temperature, both of which were fine. And that's when she decided to end the stream. So I will say she did end up doing pretty much the whole 2 hours. She complained the whole time.
Pretty much. And even though the whole time she was trying to get the chat to tell her it was okay if she stopped.
Like I said, she talked about how she didn't feel good, she should be resting, but I think she knew that people in the chat would make a stink about it if she tried to leave early, so that's why she ended up staying for the whole time. It was an interesting stream. Like I said, she was acting really different than normal, and I don't know if it was just because of the COVID or if it...
That's a good point, SP. The weather would not be the reason an ambulance couldn't come get her. She is the reason an ambulance could not come and get her. I think that's the end of as far as the recap. So we might move on here. So shout out to Salty Crab for doing that for me. She didn't do it for me, but you know what I mean. Let's see. Next, let's take a look at Beck doing her Q&A for Oh Lordy, It's Jordy. Where some more just like absolutely bonkers stuff was discussed. I've seen you guys talking about it in the chat. Like the lint picking is the #1 craziest thing to come out of that Q&A. Choosy is a close second. Just spending your entire day, or days, she says, doing Choosy. Pretty just bonkers. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and skip forward to when she actually starts doing the questions because I don't care about the intro. No disrespect. All right, let's go.
If they so choose to do so. Beck is recently been launching a reaction series to reaction channels and getting the community involved in asking questions that they have always wondered what occurred during what I refer to as season 4 of Amberlynn Reid. So let's just get started, Beck. These are coming straight from my community, and on my behalf, it'll go through the Jordy filter, so to speak. Okay, so the first question is from someone named Raven Elise, and I actually wonder this as well. Amberlynn is immobile, or close to immobile, during the time that you spent with her during your season.
And still to this day.
Raven and I would like to know, what does Amberlynn do with all of her time?
Nothing.
This is something that you guys probably already know about her, but it depends on what she's into in the moment. Like, it could be reading and being on her computer for hours upon hours at a time. She would have so many tabs open, and it would just be like YouTube, shopping. She would have her personal journal that she would write in open. I don't know. Sometimes I didn't even know because I didn't even...
It's so crazy to me that she types out all of her journals and then writes them out longhand after that. It's such a waste of time. I mean, she's got a lot of time to fill, so fair enough. But it's just so strange.
Really see a lot of her computer or her phone. She was also on her phone, but I was aware of the many different tabs that she was on, because another thing with Amber was no matter what she was doing or what we were doing, she could only handle it for so long, and then she would have to switch to something else. So if we were watching a movie or a TV show or something, we could only watch so much of it, and then she would pause it, and we'd have to do something else for a little while before we come back to it.
It's because she can't follow a storyline.
She also was really into puzzles and Legos and journaling, and one thing that took up a lot of time was this game that she would force me to play called Choosy, where she would take a bunch of like thousands of stickers, like she bought bulk stickers, and had me pick between them all the way down until I picked one single sticker to be the best sticker of all. And she made me do this with buttons and earrings, calendar pages. She would buy a bunch of small calendars and tear the pages out and then have me pick between the pictures down to which one I liked the most.
Buy calendars to disassemble them and then make Beck choose between them bracket style until they came down to what Beck believed was the best calendar picture. It's like, I can't even comprehend having to do that in my life. It's nuts.
And Croc Charms. She would make me play choosy between Croc Charms. And she didn't even own a pair of Crocs. She just had thousands of Croc Charms for no reason. And sometimes, because there was so many, like...
And the fact that Beck just says, yeah, we played choosy, like it's nothing. Like, it doesn't even faze her. That just shows how often she had to do this and how, like, what a normal part of life it became.
Like with stickers and earrings, it would take hours and sometimes even days to completely get down to just one. And another thing that would take up a lot of time is she would set a timer for 45 minutes to an hour usually. And she would have me sit behind her and pretend to pick lint off of her back because she liked the way it felt and sounded because of ASMR. And she would have me do this for so long that my arms and stuff would hurt. And whenever I would want to stop, she would sigh and just be like, well, I'm going to pause the timer.
This is truly one of the craziest things I have ever heard. And knowing everything I know about Amber, this is still like so shocking. Just how, like, we knew it was weird behind the scenes, but like nobody would have dreamed up such a nuts scenario of what was going on that mattress on the floor that she slept on like a dog. Just so crazy. It's not even like a mental health shaming thing. Like, who cares? She's nuts. I'll say it. She's crazy.
So she would pause the timer for my little break, and then I'd have to immediately go back to it, and she would unpause the timer again. Sometimes I would catch her not unpausing the timer because she would want me to do it for longer.
Oh yeah, you know she went into like a legit rage when she saw this video.
Next up, we have a question from Gracie. I don't know if that's a reference to a specific animal, but Gracie asked this question.
Rip Gracie.
Gracie wants to know, when did the relationship between you and Amberlynn go from bad to worse? I know that people tend to put on their best face when they first get into relationships and slowly leak out the toxicity as they get along. So at what point did you realize, oh God, I'm in too deep, or oh God, the honeymoon phase has definitely worn off?
In the beginning, things were all right, but there were some signs of her being controlling. Then it got worse whenever we moved in together, and then even worse whenever
When you moved in together was immediately. There was no interim. Everything before moving in together was online. There was no time before you lived together.
I quit my job and started taking care of her and quote unquote working for her full time. So I feel like that was when I definitely felt like I was too deep in to leave.
Princessa would like to know, were there ever times during when you were in renal failure that you felt unsafe to drive, whether it be to how you felt from your condition or from being heavily medicated, that Amberlynn sort of pitched a bitch and demanded that you go get her fast food, went to Walmart, run her errands? Were there ever times where you felt this is not a good idea, but if I don't do it, it will unleash the beast, so I better do it?
Yeah, I mean, there are infinite videos from the Beck era where she's obviously just like pilled out of her mind and having to cart Amber somewhere.
You guys know at that time I was heavily medicated and I should not have been on the road, and I put myself in danger and other people in danger, and I wish I could go back and tell myself it wasn't worth it to take those risks. I'm aware that I should not have been on the road during that time. But from what I remember, I didn't really feel like I was making a conscious decision. I just knew that I felt bad, but I wasn't sure what was causing it at the time. I was afraid to leave, but I was being pressured to take care of others, specifically Amber's needs. Even though I know now that I had a choice, at the time I felt like I didn't, and I will always regret that.
Peyton Ford asks, how long was the mattress in the living room where you guys lived? And whose idea was it to put a mattress arbitrarily in the middle of a living room for Amberlynn to loiter on?
I mean, it was her idea. Whose else would it have been? Funny freeze frame on Jordy, by the way.
It was over a period of, I want to say, about 2 years. Whenever she would want to hang out in the living room, I would have to drag the mattress out. And when we were done hanging out, I would have to drag it back into the spare bedroom. It wasn't the bed that we slept on. It was my bed from before we were together, and it stayed in the spare bedroom. So it didn't stay in there all the time, but I did drag it back and forth for many days over the course of a few years. But it was all Amber's idea, and it was because she would get uncomfortable sitting on the couch because her ankles would swell, and it would just be more comfortable for her to be able to stretch her legs out. And there were also other reasons that I won't disclose.
Ryan Mars asked,
Gross.
was there ever a point during your relationship with Amber Lynn when you guys were still going on double dates with Destiny and Dana that Destiny kind of tried to give you hints or kind of suggest to you that being in a relationship with Amber wasn't a good idea, or say something along the lines of encouraging you to get away from Amber?
No, she never really nudged me or tried to get me to do that or anything. But there were plenty of times where she would look at me and be like, I don't know how you put up with her. And they would also bicker and argue a lot when they would be around each
That is really funny that Destiny was like, I don't know how you're doing this.
other. It was just how their dynamic was too.
So there's a person that typically comes onto social media and creates a little bit of an uproar every so often by the name of Annie Doran. Would you mind discussing a little bit who Annie Doran is, your relation to Annie Doran, and any of the claims that Annie Doran has made that you are aware of?
So this is a question that I've wanted to address for a while, but I wasn't sure how to approach it. I do see her comments here and there, and it does make me uncomfortable to see her still talking about my mom. So Anne got a hold of my mom because my mom was selling wreaths.
I have no idea who this person is. I almost skipped this one just because I don't feel like it's that germane to Amber. But if you guys know who Becca's talking about, fill me in.
That she made, and she asked Amber to advertise them on YouTube, and she did. So Anne got a hold of my mom and bought a wreath from her, and she just continued to talk to my mom after that as if she wanted to be friends with her. And my mom thought she really wanted to be friends, but the more she talked to her, the more my mom realized that Anne was only in for it for Amber. She was obsessed with Amber and she wanted to know everything about Amber. And because my mom and Amber weren't getting along at that point, my mom did say some things to Anne about Amber, which you guys had seen in that screenshot with those voice notes. But there were times that she would say negative things about me to my mom, and it felt like she was trying to come between me and my mom. And I don't mean things that were brought up on YouTube. I mean, there were random things that were just blatant lies. She lied a lot. And as for the things that I know she has said, the story about her being stuck in the shower and the fire department having to be called didn't happen. I don't know where she would have gotten that story. I know my mom.
Well, I mean, I know where she would have gotten it. It seems like it would have happened. But it is good to know that didn't. Okay, so I guess this was just some person who tried to get to Amber through Beck's mom. Alright, so she's just some troll who found a way in and had to tap the glass, which is a term people use in the Cobraverse for when people try to insert themselves in his life for real. They call it tapping the glass.
Definitely didn't say that. And as for Amber weighing 700 pounds, that also isn't true that I know of. The most that I was aware of her weighing was like 570 or 80 something. And after that, she just stopped weighing herself around me. So I really have no idea how much she ended up weighing, but I don't think it was 700 pounds. And I don't know where she would have got that information from.
Was there ever a single lie that stuck out to you more than any of the others? Raven Elise would like to know. Was there anything that Amber Lynn told her audience where you just thought to yourself, wow, I cannot believe that she is that confident lying about that?
Yeah, there were times whenever she would show in a
Times, plural.
ate in a day video. She wouldn't exactly show everything that she ate. She would just show you guys what she thought was acceptable for you guys to see, and then just not even talk about the other things that she would eat. So I was just always shocked that she really thought people would believe that. And I think you guys already know this, but there were many days that she would film lots of videos in one day, and she would switch her outfits to make it more convincing that it was different days.
Which she still does. She just tells us about it now.
And she
Which is weirder. Which I'm on record as saying, it's stranger that she tells us she's doing that than if she just did it.
would also ask me to change my outfits to make it more convincing for those videos.
Aisha asks if there were ever times where you would
Beck, go put on a different Walmart graphic tee so they think it's a different day.
deliberately take longer during the errands that Amber Lynn would send you on just so that you could have more time away from her.
Absolutely, yes, I would. I did it every single time, every chance I got. That's also what I would do in the bathroom a lot. I would pretend to be using the bathroom for a long time, but I would really just be in there having my peace.
So we have all been clued in on
They were together for like 4 years too. I mean, what a nightmare scenario she was living in.
What really happened with Amber Lynn and the wiping situation. It was not just solely something that took place after her hysterectomy. There was a lot of upkeep on your end in terms of Amber Lynn's personal hygiene. What was Ricky and Eric's involvement in that, if anything? Did Eric and Ricky ever help wash? Did they ever help do anything? Or did they just kind of look at you and say, well, she's your girlfriend. That's your problem?
It was definitely the latter. They were just basically like, well, it's your girlfriend, your responsibility. You know,
They really... I mean, Amber ruined Eric and Ricky's life too, honestly. I mean, because how hard would it have been for them to be like, Beck, your girlfriend is a stone cold nightmare and you should not have brought her in here. Like, they should have done that, but I can see like how insanely difficult that conversation would have been.
really shouldn't have to be doing these things anyway, but of course they weren't going to help, but understandably, and they should not have had to.
The next question is, do you know or remember what exactly happened after the "is that my cereal" incident, when Amberlynn approached you when you were sitting on the couch in the living room and said very kind of furiously, "What cereal is that?"
This is an especially disappointing answer for all of us in Hater Nation.
And you covered for her by saying, "What's that over there?" And Amberlynn stomped off.
That made me worried. We have 6 people here. Why'd you guys? Huh?
What is that over there?
And like, I see the chat. Like, to be clear, Eric and Ricky aren't blameless, because you're right. They did keep going back to her after the breakup, probably because she would like buy them stuff. The same reason that Destiny hung around. So they're definitely not angels in this scenario, although I did always like Ricky. But still, like, they were just think of this from their perspective. They're living in this house with their friend, and then all of a sudden, party's over, dude. Like, straight up, stone cold nightmare behemoth is wrecking your house, and always there, always.
Was there a follow-up to that? Were there ever moments where food aggression was very apparent with Amberlynn?
I think we had recently discussed dieting and counting calories, and it was cereal that we had already had, and I didn't want it to go to waste, but I think it's because she was upset at the fact that we had talked about eating healthy and I was eating the Cocoa Puffs. But we all know...
Yeah, it sucked to learn that that's all it was, and not what we all thought, is that she was eating Amber's cereal, and so Amber was having a freak out.
That the diet was going to be over in a few hours anyway, because that's just how she was. So usually I would have been trying to take the diet seriously, but that day I just knew the diet wouldn't last and I ate the Cocoa Puffs. As for the food aggression, I feel like she did have some food aggression, but I don't really have any specific examples because I feel like I was spared from that because we had very different tastes in food and I just never really wanted to try what she had.
Could you tell us in your words what exactly happened with the Jonesy rings that you used to propose to Amber in the infamous video and the screenshots that followed along in what the community refers to as Ringgate?
So I did try to sell them on a Facebook marketplace, but no one wanted them. So Amber did catch wind of it and she wanted them back. I don't know what she wanted them back for. I guess maybe to try to sell herself, but I don't know. I ended up giving her one of them back. And
probably to make you feel bad.
And I lost the other one by the time I'd gotten the other one to her.
Strawberry Shortcake asks, if Amberlynn admitted to free bleeding, were you also expected during your time with Amber to clean up after all human bodily functions?
Gross.
Yeah, I knew about the free bleeding and I did have to sometimes clean up after it, but that's all I'll really say about that.
Anna Cottrell wants to ask if, and of course you don't have to disclose the answer to this, are there things that you are taking to the grave, so to speak, when it comes to Amberlynn? Are there certain details or events that happened that, no matter how juicy the drama or the ability for you to profit or get clout off of it or anything of the sort, are there things that happened in your relationship with Amberlynn that you plan on never disclosing to the world?
Yes, there are some things that I do keep to myself just because they are embarrassing and wouldn't be very kind to share with the world. And though Amber has called me a liar and money hungry and has tried to embarrass me, my goal has never been to do those things to her. I only wanted to tell my story and to help her see that she needs to take some accountability.
Isabel Schumacher asks, during the transition between your season and Jade's season, season 5, was Jade kind to you? Did Jade kind of...
How was Beck season 4? I mean, Crystal would be 1. Destiny would be 2. I wonder what he's counting.
Make the overlap in the relationship as easy and not awkward as possible? Did it kind of turn into Amberlynn wanting you out of there and Jade in? Was it sort of like a 2 versus 1 situation, or did Jade remain neutral?
She was kind to my face, but I did find out later on from Eric and Ricky that she would talk about me behind my back. She didn't make it any easier or harder because I was already halfway out the door whenever she moved in.
Lori asks, was there ever an incident or a period of time where you considered calling a mobile crisis team or initiating a 5150?
Well, okay, I guess I don't recognize Casey as like a real YouTube era.
For Amber, maybe staging an intervention with people that were in her social circle. Did that ever strike your mind as something that might be a good idea?
So I did not realize that you could do something like that, but I think if that were to have happened, she just would have cut everybody off and came back not changing a thing.
The mattress and litter box that you recently told us about being covered in piss and shit that no one was attending to regarding the pets that you came across, were you responsible for cleaning all of that up and throwing away the mattress? Were there times where you were throwing away mattresses or things that normally, if they were given ordinary maintenance, you would just kind of throw them away because they were beyond repair, or it was better to just buy a new one instead of clean it?
I was the one who eventually cleaned up the litter boxes. Some people may think that was the first sign to turn around and run, and I should have, but I felt bad for her. At the time, I thought she just needed help, and that was something that Amber could just physically not do, but that's not an excuse to put your animals through that. The bed was beyond saving, and Amber didn't know what to do with it, so she ended up just leaving it behind, which is unfair to the people who owned that apartment and had to dispose of it. The only other mattress that we had to get rid of was the one that we slept on for years, and we ended up burning it before we moved to Lexington.
What?
Alyssa.
Well, I guess they did kind of live in the middle of nowhere, but still, that is extreme. Also, imagine what you'd put in the air just from human oils left in that mattress.
The Fae asks, so there were times when you left for upwards of days for time to spend with your family and Amber was left alone at the house. What did you do in the event, or what did she do in the event that you weren't around?
There were a lot of things that she couldn't do without me, so that's why my time away from her or with my family was very limited, because she would try to take care of things on her own, but then she would text me and make me feel bad for not being there to help her do the things that she couldn't do without me. So she would do her best to not do those things that she needed help with while I was gone.
Mackie G asks, what were Amberlynn's thoughts about Michael B. Petty? And what I would like to add on to this is, would Amberlynn look into reaction channels in regards to wanting to sue them or looking up information about them to anonymously spill tea about them? Would she deliberately create rumors about reaction channels to tarnish their image? Recently, it was disclosed to us by Amberlynn's ex-friend Alexis that Amberlynn paid for my information, and who knows what she would have done with it. Has she ever done anything, or that you know of during the time that you spent with her, that she kind of went after
Amber just running background checks on reaction channels
in an unorthodox way?
So there were a lot of reaction channels that she couldn't stand. Like, she couldn't stand Oh Lordy, It's Jordy. She couldn't stand Michael B. Petty. She completely got Kicking Geese taken down, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. She also completely hated CXNT and Charlie Gold. There were so many reaction channels.
Shout out to the OG CXNT.
That she just absolutely despised. And I don't know if she really paid for the information or anything, but I do know that she was obsessively watching you guys and just seething with rage.
Magic Flower says that you recently...
It is nice to have confirmation that she was just, at least back then, just watching reaction channels all day. Because she has to know what people are saying about her. She just can't exist. You know what I mean? She has to know. She has to define her value by what everyone else is saying about her all the time.
Disclosed to us that Amberlynn kept you in the car and prevented you from breaking up with her. Was that a normal occurrence? Did that happen pretty frequently where she would tell you, no, you can't break up with me? Or was it just a handful of times that you can remember?
There were times
A handful of times is a lot of times.
that we would get into arguments and she would be like, you can't leave this room, or don't you dare walk out on me. But the car thing only happened one time. There were multiple other times I would try to leave her, but she would emotionally manipulate me into staying.
Katsukis asks if you ever felt like a rebound for Amber or someone that she could use as bait to try to win Destiny back. Did you feel like Amber Lynn was just in a relationship with you so that she could have a partner?
Well, she straight up admitted to still being in love with Destiny at first.
Or to show Destiny that she could move on.
Honestly, I feel like every girlfriend she gets is a rebound for the previous one. But yes, I did think about that, especially in the beginning of the relationship.
How did Amber
Well, is it still a rebound if you had the next one lined up before the breakup?
Lynn really feel about Chantal, or Foodie Beauty? Did she have private opinions on Chantal, or did she like Chantal? Did she have nice things to say about Foodie Beauty?
They were on again, off again friends. So like whenever they were friends, Amber really didn't care about her too much, didn't pay too much attention. But whenever they were arguing, Amber did talk bad about her like she does anybody else.
Knives Pilgrim asks if there are actually ways that she is misunderstood by the community or the internet as a whole. Are there things that the reaction channels or the community wildly get wrong, or the camera versus real life does not translate well? Are there things that really Amber Lynn should be given a little bit of a break on that you can think
No, absolutely not.
of?
No, I used to think that they were wrong, but definitely not now.
And Storm asks, how was Amber Lynn with her money? Does she have more put away than she leads on? Is she doing
There's no way she has any put away.
very well for herself? Do you think that it's absolutely ridiculous that you left the apartment with $100 to your name knowing how well Amber Lynn was doing?
She did make a ridiculous amount of money. I don't know about now, but when I was with her, she did not save it. She would spend it, and it would just be on whatever random things she wanted. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, and I don't want to keep harping on this, but it is ridiculous that I only had $100 to move out on, because I didn't get any of the money from the live streams that I participated in. But I am just grateful to be out of that situation and in a better one now. So that is the end of the Oh Lordy, It's Jordy Q&A video. I hope everyone enjoyed this video and made it to the end. And I want to thank Jordy again for setting this up. And
do we think Beck is to blame at all for what happened to her? Like, I want you to see what you guys have to think, or what you guys have to say and what you think, because she didn't know at first what she was getting into. Not really. But once she was in it, she had, 3-4 years to get out of it. And I know Amber didn't make it easy to get out, sure. And of course that would be a difficult conversation to have. And of course you'd have like the emotional dilemma of, okay, so I break up with this 500-pound girl who literally can't take care of herself. What's she going to do without me? But I mean, isn't this kind of also Beck's fault? Like, way less, for sure. But like, it's not, I don't know. It's not a 0% responsibility, but obviously Amber gets like at least 90% of the responsibility. I don't know. I don't dislike Beck, but I think in hindsight she gets a lot more, I don't know, pity maybe, or love from the community than maybe she deserved at the time. I don't know. Again, I'm not speaking ill of her, and I'm glad she got away, and I'm glad she's doing better now. But I also think Destiny was like kind of a goblin. It does take two to play choosy, that's true. Well, I mean, I don't know how far I would say Beck was low IQ, but I mean, that's definitely something Amber looks for, right? I mean, we've seen Crystal, we've seen Destiny, we've seen Beck. Like, she has a type vis-a-vis how quick-witted someone is. And I think that's why things got so violent, or explosive, if you believe the rumors, with Jade. Because Jade wasn't some simpleton. And with Emily, it swung very far the other way, where Emily was the very manipulative one. Which is why that didn't work out. right, so the last thing I want to take a look at, there is at least new to me, channel called Lemon Shortbread Bites, and you'll see why at the beginning of their video where they got that from. I like when a channel's name is taken from something Amber did or said, clearly. So this is a compilation channel, and they actually use clips that not everybody in the world has used. You know, it's not the big cherry clip. It's not Destiny falling face down into all the wrapping paper. It's not Books is Good for the Brain. You know, the things we know and love, to be fair. But they actually find clips that you don't see every day, and I think it's pretty good. They're currently at 1.39 thousand subscribers, so way more than me. But if you like what you see and you go over to their channel and you subscribe, tell them that you subscribed because of me, and maybe it'll work reciprocally. So this one is called Amberlynn Reid is Culturally Inept. We know that's true. So let's go ahead and get started with that.
Oh my god, lemon shortbread bites? Wait, I want that. Ew! What am I supposed to be doing?
Looking for Russia.
Well, show them so I can show. Russia is precisely. I just want to say I was never taught this, okay? So.
You were in school, but you weren't listening.
This had to be post-breakup, right? For Beck to actually, snap back like that?
No. This is when I was bouncing around in foster homes.
Geography. They didn't teach you geography.
Yeah, when Russia was established and placed on the map, that's when I was in between schools. Remember, I was in foster care. You gotta feel bad for me.
Geography.
I missed a lot of school being in foster care. Geography is not it for me.
I have some things to learn. I'm not going to admit, but I'm not going to lie, but I know where Russia is.
It's the top right.
Where? You have to point.
Well, okay, broadly speaking, it is top right. And also, because the Earth is round, which, again, remember, Amberlynn says it might not be, that's only where Russia is when the map is laid out like that. If you're in another part of the world, North America is probably not top left.
To it.
The top right. Duh. Like what?
Where?
The top
Oh, we got a celebrity in the chat. Kate Winslet, everybody. Beck's true love.
right.
Point to it. With your finger. Come on.
Russia's so massive, like her, she could accidentally get it right, honestly, and she still doesn't point to it.
I pointed. Wait, that's not what I meant to do.
Dang
Wait,
it.
what's happening? Wait, no. I give up. It's the top right, y'all. I'm sorry.
What's this one?
This? How can I know? Oh, that's the Arctic.
No, it's not.
The Arctic, everybody. Reads all the time.
Wait, let me see.
Antarctic.
Wait, let me see if I can find the
It's
USA.
Antarctica.
Yeah, that's what I said. The Antarctic or the.
Oh, man. No.
No. If someone can link me a geography class. Wait, show. Wait, let
The
me
Arctic
see.
is north.
No, see, I don't believe
Okay, well, Beck said Arctic, too, to be fair.
that.
Oh, I know, because we live on a flat disc and we're just gonna
No.
There we
eventually
go.
fall
We
off the
don't.
edge. So
I'll tell you guys where the USA is. I got this. Watch.
Do you?
okay,
It's right here. Well, can you?
I can't get back to the.
It's
way
this
you
one
had
right
it.
here. That's Canada. That's Mexico. This.
Just continually touching a touchscreen and not understanding what she's messing up.
Wait, where's Alaska?
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you need to know.
What's that?
Where's Hawaii? This?
Mm-hmm.
That's Hawaii? No, it's not.
She's the dumbest person alive.
That little thing?
Yeah. Oh wait. No.
Yeah,
No.
see, you don't even know.
Right there.
There's
Dang,
no
that's
way.
far. Whoa.
Look at where I was born, though. Sorry, you guys. I'm fascinated right now. I was born at that little dot.
Fascinated.
Do you know what that is?
No.
That's Canada. That's Canada.
Y'all, I'm learning.
That's Cuba.
I'm learning.
I was never taught this stuff. I was in a lot of foster homes. I had to change several schools.
I mean,
several times, and it's fine. Y'all,
Remember, feel sorry
this
for
water,
me.
Icelandic? I don't know. I heard that 2017 is supposed to be a great year for everybody, for people who believe in Zodiac and stuff like that. I'm not 100% a believer in that, but it is supposed to be a good year. I guess 2017 falls under something called a 1 year, which means, I don't know, it's like this whole Scientology thing.
I wish she would get into Scientology. That would be amazing. Although she definitely wouldn't be able to follow it, like for sure. And I mean like literally understand what's being said in the book.
Yes, I would visit North Korea. Camino, or whatever you guys want to call such a thing. What is it called? Yeah, Camino. Something that was super amazing is when a lady who had breast cancer that traveled to her lungs, she did not want to get radiation, so she went to a vegan doctor who taught her how to be vegan. He told her that if she went on vegan diet, her cancer would go away.
If she went on vegan diet.
It seemed way too easy to believe and too much of a blessing to come true. So she became on a vegan diet and her cancer completely went away.
She became on a vegan diet.
Okay, you guys can't see him anymore, but I just saw something very disturbing. I look totally pale, but that's not the point. What was disturbing was there's this school bus that stops kind of in the front of my house, and there's always these same kids who get on and off of it, and I'm taking Monkey out. And I saw these 3 kids walking, up the street, and I see them all the time.
The dog that she claimed was her dog, just because it was already there when she moved in.
2 are
and took that entire family hostage.
Brother and sister who are African American. The other is Caucasian, and I heard someone yelling like white power and like white people are, like
this did not happen.
The best or whatever, and I was just like, oh my god, if there were any
just yelling white people are the best
closer to my house, I would have called that guy out or kid or teenager or whoever, because that is wrong. That was so rude, and I have never really witnessed a racist moment.
Social justice warrior Lynn, you guys.
In my life. I hear people do like racist jokes and they say they're just joking and stuff like that, but this was like super serious, and I almost legit yelled something because it was just really rude, and I'm like so shocked.
Well, you should definitely get credit for something you almost did in a completely made up story.
I don't know why people act like that. Like, the color of your skin does not define who you are, just like my weight does not define who I am, or the color of my hair, or anything like that. And to
the L in MLK stands for Lynn.
Witness, people at such a young age, I'm assuming 15, to witness them, doing that was really sad. And not the kid who was saying white power, but the other one, there was a girl and a boy, brother and sister, like I said, and the girl was just trying to laugh it off, but behind the laughter, I swear I heard the pain, and I just thought it was so
behind the laughter, I heard the pain.
Rude.
Once again, speaking like a YA novel.
And knowing that, they're on the same school bus together and this and that, and there's still people treating people like that, especially at that age. I honestly thought this generation and the younger generation was going to change the world, but I guess not. I love you. Huh? She's a hood rat. I mean,
Hi, Becky. So my question is, if you could time travel, would you travel to the past or to the future? Love you guys.
We love you.
Well, she's not going to see much of the future, so that'd be the only way.
And that is a freaking good question.
The future scares me. I would want to go to the past.
Okay.
70s or 80s.
70s or 80s. Just to visit?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a distinct moment that you want to visit?
It'd be really awesome to see the birth.
Yeah, that's a good point that they made. Lemon Shortbread made. She's setting herself up to have some great answer.
Berlin Wall fall, but that was 1990. That was like right before I was born. And you?
I would want to be, some people are gonna be like, what? Okay. I would go to the past, and
Cat ear era.
I would be on the bus and I would stick up for Rosa Parks.
Ooh, yeah.
Because Rosa Parks is, I've always looked up to her. I've said this in a video before and I got so much hate for it. They're like, you probably don't know the story, you're just saying that. Ugh. People will literally hate me for everything.
Why wouldn't she know the story?
I mean,
they teach you that in school.
Yeah, right. I just look up to her and the situation and what happened. So
Well, maybe she was getting shuffled between foster homes the day that they talked about Rosa Parks.
much because I feel like she stands for something bigger than what she even probably realized at the time.
Not bigger than you.
And I just wish I could have seen it happen. As sad as like her position was, I just feel like, I don't know.
You know what I would have done?
I just wish I would have been there.
Yeah, sure.
Taste test. What is this exactly, babe?
Takoyaki.
It's takoyaki.
Takoyaki.
Octopus balls.
Wait, like they're like some balls?
No, baby, it's octopus that's formed into the shape of.
You can tell in that clip, it's the real difference between her pretending to be dumb and when she actually just doesn't know something. That was real. Like, that was her real idiocy coming through.
Oh! Okay, I thought it was octopus, like, some balls. Okay, so it's octopus that's shaped into a ball. Okay. So this is what it looks like. I'm, like, genuinely... Ugh. Actually, baby, I don't know if I can.
Baby, it's good.
It's making me feel sick smelling it. I just almost puked.
Baby.
My gag reflex. Have you ever
You choked and almost pooped your pants after eating octopus balls.
ate something that made... Oh my god, my ears are popping.
It's because you're thinking about it.
Nope.
If I didn't tell you it was octopus, you would never know.
I wouldn't like the flavor.
Okay, baby.
That's a no.
Be nice. I'm finding it.
Yes, it was a full moon. And I just...
A full moon?
My brain can't compute. And it's like, where are the stars? Where are the stars? Like, there was no stars during the moon landing. Like, where are they? I don't know. Something...
Oh, yeah.
Something...
Her moon landing didn't happen. So great.
And up for me, and that's totally fine. So I don't even know how we got on this discussion, but Crystal and I were like debating back and forth. Do you shake with your right hand or your left hand?
I'm just like, oh, I did it out, don't worry. I just had a moment.
So I kept saying, no, you shake with your left hand. And she's like, no, you shake with your right hand.
Her grandma core fashion was like really, really extreme back then. Even the weird giant ring that matches the gross necklace.
Yeah, I didn't say that. I said I do. She says she does. And I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. Everyone shakes with their left hand. And we just got into this big like debate. And I'm like, I've never shaked with my right hand. And she's like, but
I've never shaked. Wait, isn't Amberlynn left-handed? I think she is. She's too dumb to put together that maybe that's what's happening.
I've never shaked with my left. I had to Google it. And I was literally shocked. People actually shake with their right hand. It really showed that I haven't shook someone's hand in the longest time. I almost fear
shaken
that the next time I do, I will make a big fool out of myself and shake with the wrong hand. It's like, Crystal...
Nobody's trying to shake your hand. Don't worry about it.
Right? Like when we go out to eat, when the waitress calls us ladies, I think it's the cutest little thing. I'm like, okay, good, they know. Like, I didn't she did not look like a girl. Like, she taped on her boobs on purpose. So they'd always think that was a boy. So it was just really weird because I'm not into that. Are you going on Tinder already?
No, but actually, you know what? It's gonna be more you than it will ever be me from here on out.
I'm never dating online again because some hood rat.
Give it a month.
Some hood rat for sure.
Don't you hate when you dream about something and you wake up and you're just like so sad about it because it felt so real? Like so real. Beyond real. And then you have to come back to reality and be like, that shit was fake. Fake?
All right. So that was Lemon Shortbread Bites. New channel I found that I like, and maybe you guys liked it too. I don't know. It's just nice to see clips that we don't see all the time. They have a lot more videos posted, but they're longer, and I'm trying to keep this stream kind of short today. But yeah, check it out and say, hey. Maybe you get in the comments and say, I saw this on Six Bacons. I don't know. Maybe you do that. Maybe you do that for me. Maybe you like this video for me. Maybe you hit that heart in the chat for me. I don't know. I don't want to tell you what to do. I'm not your boss. You are not Beck to my Amberlynn. I'm not forcing you to pick imaginary lint off my back. But if you wanted to do those things for me, I'd appreciate it. If you liked, commented, subscribed, all that stuff. So that is the end of our chat for today. I appreciate you guys coming by. I had a good time. I didn't do a full 2 hours, so I didn't live up to Amber Lynn's Stream Queens. But I'm also never going to have anything you pay for. So, I will... Again, I appreciate you guys. I was Six Bacons. You did a great job. You all did a fantastic job today. You're the ones who really made it happen. And I will see you guys in